and welcome to our guide and thoughts on the MSC Virtuosa cruise ship, which is a Meraviglia Plus class of ship, owned and operated by MSC Cruises. The ship was first launched in 2019 and entered service in 2021 as one of 3 ships that would be an extended version of the popular Meraviglia class of ships, first launched in 2017. With a length of 331 metres and a maximum capacity of around 6,300 passengers, she is one of the world's biggest cruise ships, which in truth is a positive and a negative, as we will get into in this video. Now that the line has moved into the megaship industry with their new world class of ships, is the perfect time to discuss the good and the bad about the MSC Virtuosa and our experience on board her. As ever, don't forget to like and subscribe, and why not leave a comment below, we would love to hear your views on the ship. My name is Darren, and in this video we will discuss our thoughts on the MSC Virtuosa and take you on a deck-by-deck guide to what can be enjoyed on board. The Virtuosa is definitely a family-friendly ship. With lots on offer, that means that no matter what you like to do on a cruise ship, the chances are that you can do it. On our journey there was more of a party atmosphere on board due to the length of the cruise. We did a mini cruise of just 3 nights, but if you were to sail on a longer cruise, it would definitely have a more relaxed atmosphere, we believe. So whilst for our journey, everything was at full speed and with no downtime, so everybody was just looking to make the most of their time on board. Whilst on a regular cruise, there was lots of places to relax. If you prefer to keep busy whilst on holiday and love to do lots of activities, there is a wide range of things to do. We booked an inside cabin on the sail away rate, so we could have been anywhere on the ship, and whilst that is something we would not normally risk, on a mini cruise we took the gamble, and thankfully it proved out to be a great option. Our cabin number was 11013, so as you would expect it was on deck 11, which had cabins below and cabins above, which is the type of floor that we tend to choose, but the room was right at the very front of the ship. We usually try to choose cabins in the centre of the ship, and on a longer cruise it would have been annoying to constantly walk to the front of the ship when you wanted to just nip back to the room, but on a short cruise, perfectly fine. In terms of the stateroom itself, wasn't the biggest that we have had on the ship, but it wasn't the smallest, so we could have no complaints. So although on our trip it was mostly family and friendship groups, we would say that the ship itself is best suited to families, looking for a getaway where there is something for everybody. While mostly coming at an extra cost, there is plenty to enjoy on board the ship, and actually a lot of it is included in your cruise fare, with things such as sports courts, swimming pools, an aqua park, climbing area, which are all fun ways for kids and parents to spend time together. With a huge range of bars, restaurants and entertainment venues, there is lots to keep all entertained throughout your cruise. With that said, as I was travelling with my wife as a couple, the ship is also a great option for couples. Although the lack of places to just sit and enjoy each other's company, it has to be said there are better options for couples. There were a few issues that we came across on the Virtuosa that we would have to warn people about before they sailed on it. The lack of storage space in the room is something you need to think about, as if we were on a 2-week cruise, you would definitely have to keep moving your clothes between the wardrobe and your case. There is a lack of seating areas on the ship, as aside from some lounges, a little bit of outdoor seating, and interestingly some very large seating areas next to the lift banks, you are kind of left to having to sit in bars. Talking of lifts, the ship utilises a different system from what we have come across before, where you input the floor you want on the touchscreen before walking into the lift, and then you get taken to that floor. It works well, but it did confuse some people for the first day or so. Something that did catch a few people out was that you had to book all the entertainment once on board, including theatre shows. Even if you had prepaid for a carousel production, you weren't given dates and times until on board, and after queuing to find out, you had to pick a date and time you wanted to go. As someone who likes to plan ahead, this was frustrating, as it would be incredibly simple to offer this on the Lines app before you board. One thing we really didn't like was the lack of an outdoor promenade deck, and we would love nothing more than taking a stroll next to the water before retiring to bed. The main thing we absolutely hated was the fact that the casino allowed smoking, but was fully open to public areas, and you even had to walk through it to get to the carousel lounge. Despite being an almost brand new ship, the casino and areas behind in front of it smelled like a dingy nightclub from the 1980s, and that lingering smell soon got on your clothes. The first passenger deck is known as Vivaldi, but aside from getting on and off the ship, few will visit deck 4, unless you need to head to the medical centre. Start at the front of the Mozart deck. You have both inside and outside cabins, while the midship area is the bottom level of the atrium. This is where the reception and guest services desks are found, as well as the infinity bar, excursion desk, and the future cruise desk. As you head towards the aft of the ship, you pass through the lift bank and onto one of the ship's main dining rooms, the Blue Danube. At the front of deck 6 is the entrance into the Grand Theatre, which is a decent size, but we prefer a more traditional theatre rather than the auditorium-style one on the Virtuosa. Behind that is the start of the promenade, an impressive street full of shops, restaurants, bars and cafes, which is dominated by a giant LED roof that acts as the main hub for the ship. Starting from the far end, the first thing you come across is the MSC Foundation Centre, followed by the shopping gallery. Then is the L'Atelier Bar, before more shops, including a jewellery one, a watch one, and other luxury items that you will need to be in international waters to buy. After that is the Jean-Philippe Crepe and Gelato Cafe, where you can get a load of pay extra sweet treats. There is another excursion desk before you arrive at the ship's own chocolate shop and cafe. This is a place to not only buy treats such as chocolates and macarons to take away, but you can sit in and enjoy a lot of chocolate and non-chocolate related drinks. They also make some chocolate art, which is worth popping in for a look. Across from there is some more shops, and the Hola Mexican restaurant that offers a range of tacos and other popular Mexican cuisine, but that is also a pay extra restaurant. It is the impressive ceiling that grabs your attention all the way along the promenade, however, and it is used for several different things, including for parades and music acts from the central staging area. It also has several small video shows, with the Virtuoso Bar and Lounge a great place to watch them from. There is a mezzanine level to it, which is classed as Deck 7, and offers another great place to view the ceiling from. Then there are some more shops, before you enter into the forward lift bank, behind the theatre. In the middle section of this deck is the centre section of the atrium, which is also home to the MSC Starship Club and its robot bartender. The space-themed bar offers a range of drinks, but the ones made by the robot all come at a huge cost, even if you have a drinks package. The aft of the ship is taken up by 3 of the ship's main dining rooms, the Opera, the Symphony, and the Minuetto. The Verdi deck starts with the Aurora Spa at the very front of the ship before you join the upper level of the promenade. Here you will find a TV studio and bar, which is another entertainment venue that features live music and was a popular place to grab a drink. There is a balcony overlooking the promenade that is a great place to view the ceiling and to watch the light shows that take place there. Next you come to the ship's traditional pub, which is known as the Masters of the Sea. This offers a great place for those who simply want to sit, have a drink and a chat, but who still want to be close to the action on board. After that is the Kaito Sushi Bar, a sushi restaurant where you can sit inside or on the mezzanine itself, and right next door is the Kaito Teppanyaki restaurant. This is where you can watch a chef put on a show for you whilst they cook your meal, and which has proved popular on our cruise and is a great experience to enjoy with friends or as a group. After some stairs down to deck 6, you come across the Butcher's Cut, which is the ship's steak restaurant, and like the previous 2 restaurants on this deck, it is a pay extra one. Next up is the Champagne Bar, which welcomes you back to the ever so shiny atrium, and the often much maligned Effie jewellery shop sits just off of this bar. This is the top level of the atrium, and it's quietest part, so if you're simply wanting to stand and people watch, or enjoy the music of the pianist downstairs, it's a great place to stand. There is a large gap back down to deck 5, right next to the bar area of the Champagne Bar, which did seem a little bit too easy for somebody to grab a drink and at best spill it on someone's head way below, or even worse, drop their glass. Off of the bar is the Il Campo restaurant, which is the main restaurant for those who have booked the Aurora experience on board the Virtuoso. Heading towards the aft section of the deck, you walk through another lift bank and into the ship's casino. Which is a decent size, but somewhere to avoid for most due to the awful smell of stale cigarette smoke. There is a small bar in the casino with several TV screens showing live sport, and then at the very back of the deck is a carousel lounge. That is a second smaller theatre that offers a couple of different Cirque du Soleil style shows that come with an extra cost, but you do get an included drink. There's also a place to sit and enjoy the views out of the back windows during the day for those wanting a quiet space. Decks 8 through 14 are home to only staterooms, so that takes us up to deck 15. Whilst this deck does start with more staterooms, these ones are for those who are part of the yacht club, but it does feature lots of things for general guests, starting with the solarium. This is a large 2-deck area that on this deck is home to an indoor swimming pool, a bar, and plenty of places to sit and enjoy the warmth. The centre of the deck is also home to the main swimming pool area, lots of sun lounges, and both a burger bar and an ice cream shop. The aft of this deck is made up of the marketplace buffet, which is finished off by an outdoor seating area at the very back of the ship that offers incredible views and was our go-to place for sailaways. Deck 16 once again starts with facilities for the yacht club, with the top sail lounge at the very front, followed by more accommodation. Behind that, you have the upper level of the solarium, which is home to more seating and some games including foosball and table tennis. Behind that are some more sun lounges, above the swimming pool area, and some hot tubs. Heading further back, you then arrive at the ship's gym on the inside and its walking running track on the outside. This section of the ship is also home to an arcade, a 4D cinema, a VR experience, 2 10-pin bowling lanes, a small bar, and the sportsplex. This is a large area where you can play a few sports including football, basketball, and pickleball. At the very aft of the deck is the Horizon Amphitheatre, a large sun terrace that also features a small plunge pool. With no deck 17, due to it being unlucky in Italian culture, in a similar way to the number 13 in English and American culture, we jump up to deck 18. This is the first of 2 split decks that you cannot walk from one end to the other. The front section of this deck features the Yacht Club restaurant and more accommodations for those in the club. The back section starts with the Sky Lounge, a relaxed lounge that offers great views. Behind that are the numerous kids and teen clubs, and the Attic Club for waiting parents. At the very aft of the ship is the top level of the Horizon Amphitheatre, which offers another sundeck area, some seating, and the Horizon Bar. The very top deck of the ship is once again split into 2, with a front section only for use of those staying in the yacht club, and it is where their bar, sundeck and other facilities are found. The rear section starts with the top 19, which is an exclusive sundeck. At the very aft of the ship is the Aqua Park, and the Himalayan Bridge rope course. So there you have our guide to the MSC Virtuosa, and all that remains to be said is thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.